My name's Monica Lonigan. I'm the People and Culture / HR Manager here at Council, and I'm going to take you through the workforce plan. So really, the workforce plan is where we look at the DPOP, we look at what's planned, and we say, what have we got in terms of staffing now, and what do we need in terms of skills, numbers, type of staff. We sort of look at that in terms of also then how can we ensure that we can get them through attraction retention strategies, invest in the development of our people, enhance that diversity and inclusion piece as well, and improve the resilience and the technology for our staff. In terms of our current workforce, in terms of headcount, we have around about 558 staff. In terms of FTE equivalency, we have around about 470. Most staff at Council are permanent full-time, about 80, just under 80% of staff are full-time. We have a lot of permanent part-time staffs, mainly in the community areas, so in childcare, the library, the community services. We have some temporary staff. They're staff we bring in and out if we've got specific projects or so forth, as well as the ones linked to grants from the government. At the moment, we have about 142 casuals. I will say when the leisure centre reopens, that number increases quite substantially. But they're wonderful in terms of helping us fill those gaps, and most casuals actually are based in the community areas as well. We also, I should say, have a vast number of volunteers who also supplement our staff, mainly in bushland, bush care, and also in those community areas. So that's the staff we have at the moment. In terms of gender diversity, it's roughly 50-50 in terms of male-female split. Obviously, we have more females in our community areas. It's very traditional breakdown in council. Females in the community areas, we have a lot of male staff in those works areas. It's something we look at all the time in terms of how we can shake that up. But council is very traditional there. And again, roughly 50-50 in those sort of management positions. Council has an average age of 49 years. That is very common in councils and local government. Local government tends to skew older, and that's around the average for local governments in New South Wales. Our largest age group is that 51 to 60, so we do actually skew a little bit older. And we do have some wonderful staff who are just getting over that 70 age mark and bring lots of wealth of knowledge and experience for us. Our average tenure is 10 years, but our largest group is 1 to 5. And partly that's due to, over the last few years, we've had quite significant churn. With coming out of COVID, we reached around about 20% turnover. We're back down around 14. We're still a bit high, but we actually are improving. That again was pretty common in local governments with the lack of that really hard market that we had out there. And also staff being attracted into the state government as well as into private enterprise, particularly again in areas like construction and planning. Interesting fact, only about 11.95% of our staff live in the LGA. Now again, that's pretty common for some of our neighbouring councils as well. But if you look at places like Northern Beaches, because of their geography, they have around about 70% of their staff. Central Coast, those, and a lot of the ones out west, councils out west also have those higher rates. What does that mean? Is that we pull our staff, we have a lot of staff actually from the Northern Beaches, we have a lot from the Central Coast, and we have a lot from out west. So for us, it's about that attraction of bringing them in. One of the things that we're very lucky with here at Willoughby is the wonderful transport options, particularly the metro. So as I said, we look at the challenges as part of the workforce strategy. The ageing workforce, again, they bring lots of knowledge, but it does highlight potential retirements. Coming out of COVID, we lost a lot of people retired. They wanted to travel, which is great, but also they bring. We also see an increase in safety matters there. So it's about strengthening that wellbeing of staff. In terms of the staff expectations about flexibility and how we develop our policies for staff in terms of attraction and retention, working from home, obviously. How do we manage that in this workplace? More than half our staff can't work from home because they work out of community or the depot. The knowledge retention, the ever-increasing technology changes, things like AI, how do we address that? and then again, the skill gaps now and into the future. We also see an ever-increasing change to legislation regulations in this space, particularly around safety. In terms of opportunities, again, we have a wonderfully committed staff. They are very engaged and they're very focused on delivery for the community. And they love what they do. And we need to keep leveraging that. And part of that, getting them to be mentors for people as they're coming through and educating others. Also being ambassadors for our brand. We do have a good employer brand. Willoughby is a very stable council. It's financially well managed. That actually is a good attraction piece into local government. We have the new Connect system, which has actually opened up a way of looking at data to help make data-driven decisions, particularly around people and around leaders in terms of how they deliver their services, what do they need, what sort of people they need. Nurture, as I said, we've recently gotten support from the state government. They've launched quite a number of places across local government to encourage us to employ apprentices, trainees and cadets, noting an ageing workforce in local government. We were lucky enough to get 2 apprentices. We're looking for a third, which is an arborist, and also a number of cadet positions. We've put in again for more, and it brings that wonderful sort of pipeline back to council. And again, another attraction piece and opportunity for Willoughby is the wonderful range of projects and the growth in this LGA are great things to attract people. So, in terms of where we're going, we've identified 4 areas for a roadmap for the way forward. A little bit HR words, but a future-focused, high-performance culture. What that really means is investing in developing our employees, making sure that the skills and the way developing people are what we need now, but also into the future. So again, think about the AI, growth of AI and digital. I think people who can use that Connect data to deliver on things, introducing those new things, making sure we've got people who can be out there delivering on maintenance, all those things. Empower leaders to lead. We know leaders are one of the biggest reasons people leave employers, but also empowering them to make decisions, make the right decisions, and to be honest, if they want to be specialists, let them be specialists, rather than have to be managers. Attract and retain a workforce. Again, we launched a few years ago a new brand for our employee brand. It's about continuing to enhance that, making sure we're ahead of the pack. All local governments offer the same sort of conditions. It's about trying to differentiate ourselves and what is it about coming to Willoughby. And it is a great place, so continuing that. And again, ensuring a diverse, healthy, engaged workforce. Health and wellbeing is really important. It's the most important thing. Making sure people are both physically and mentally healthy. We have an ageing workforce, so making sure we can continue to keep them fit and actively engaged, as well as anyone coming in.